live from a studio somewhere inside the simulation. It's VR News Now. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day you are watching this video. I am Tooodamngolden and you're watching VR News Now, your #1 destination for all things VR news. And today's lead story is the overwhelmingly positive reception that the upcoming AAA VR title Batman Arkham Shadow received during its Gamescom showcase, as Batman Arkham Shadow looks like a full-on Batman experience with a comparable depth and spectacle to that of Batman Arkham Asylum, which is great news for the VR community, as last year's AAA VR title Assassin's Creed Nexus received mixed reviews, with the bulk of the criticism falling on the combat, which, I mean, it is an Assassin's Creed game, so... But fortunately for us, this does not appear to be the case, with the combat that has been shown so far from this one looking completely tremendous, and with those who have gotten their hands on Arkham Shadow saying that, quote, "It feels cool to jab an arm out to counter a bad guy approaching from the weak side, it feels cool to grapple up to a vantage point, and it feels cool to beat the ever-loving tar out of the dredges of Gotham." Which certainly bodes well for both VR and Batman fans alike, as this new dip into the underworlds of Gotham will be launching exclusively for MetaQuest headsets this October, and this is most definitely a title we here at VR News Now will be keeping our eyes on, so be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all your Batman Arkham Shadow news. Switching over to our next story today, with college and NFL action coming back into season, today we are talking about football, more specifically NFL Pro Era, which will be releasing its third installment into its officially NFL licensed football franchise this fall. However, this will be done in a new fashion, as the Pro Era 2025 edition sees the series relaunching as a live service title that will be retroactively provided for owners of both Pro Era 1 and 2, with the option for an additional edition upgrade purchase, allowing for, quote, "access to new modes such as playable defense and, in a future update, head-to-head multiplayer. Also, of course, updated rosters for the 2024 season, updated uniforms, and access to simulation content." And the arrival of the often requested ability to play defense in the form of a linebacker is definitely the biggest news coming out of all of this, as the planned release of head-to-head multiplayer now has even higher stakes, as being able to actually virtually tackle another player adds just that much more of a competitive element. So NFL fans out there, get ready to hit the gridiron, as this one hits Quest headsets this fall, with no planned release date for both the Steam VR and PSVR 2 versions of the game yet. And now to a trio of quick stories that I just wanted to highlight, starting with the VR industry's worst kept secret, the MetaQuest 3S, which has recently been spotted on the FCC filing page, purportedly sporting Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity ahead of its rumored October release date. And speaking of release dates, the long-awaited Hitman 3 VR Reloaded for Meta headsets is scheduled for a Thursday, September 5th release, and gamers who have been waiting for this one should be absolutely pleased, as will fans of the Alien horror franchise, as a new trailer for the long-awaited Alien Rogue Incursion debuted earlier this week, and fans were finally given a release date of December 19th for this one, making Alien Rogue Incursion the perfect Christmas gift for the VR lover in your life. And now for today's final story, and what else could it be besides the extended look that we have seen from Skydance's Behemoth over the past week or so, with the general consensus being that this is VR's most ambitious title to date, with editor-in-chief of The Gamer Stacey Henley remarking that this title is, quote, "meatiest VR experience that she's ever had," with reference to the mastery of weightiness that Behemoth provides, in which she stated, "In a regular video game, your character might heave and wobble as they pick up a heavy object, but in VR, whether it's a feather or an anvil, you can go right up to it, press the trigger, and raise your weightless arm upwards. VR can't really counteract that. It can make it impossible to pick something up unless you move slowly and simulate weight, but that doesn't convince the player they're holding anything heavy, but Behemoth has cracked the code." The weapons and scale of the Behemoths themselves have also been the talk of the VR world post Gamescom, with a bunch of weapons being shown in various gameplay videos, and in true RPG fashion, it has been reported that Behemoth sports a robust looting mechanic, with every enemy you meet being lootable post-battle. But of course, the main draw of this game are the massive behemoths, which are scalable enemies that you have been tasked with tracking and hunting down. And honestly, the major takeaway from seeing these beautiful monstrosities is the sheer scale of them, with reports circulating that they are unlike anything that VR has had to offer thus far. And of course, it's no secret that VR has been desperately searching for its killer app post Half-Life Alyx, and by all early indications, Skydance's Behemoth is set to do just that. But of course, only time will tell, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to see if this one lives up to the hype. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is VR News Now. I am your host, Tooodamngolden, and thanks for joining me in the simulation inside the simulation.